Previously on the Smoky Mountain Small Bore series. I drove to Tennessee. My two-stroke overheated less than 4 miles from the motel on the first ride with a water pump malfunction that was later fixed. Ryan put a hole in a piston in his 250cc two-stroke swapped Kawasaki Ninja on the second ride of the trip when we attempted to go to the Dragon. And I made it to the tail of the Dragon on the T-Max. Thursday morning was the first official event of the rally, a small bore race held at the Knoxville Dragway in Maynardville, Tennessee, just north of Knoxville. It was just over an hour drive from the motel with the two strokes loaded in the back of the truck. This is the event that persuaded me to check out the rally, because there was going to be a two-stroke open class and a Ruckus clone class, so I was excited to have some other scoots to race. The North American Scooter Racing Association held the only drag racing events that I've ever known of specifically for scooters, primarily at the Brown County Dragway in Indiana, and their last races were nearly 10 years ago, so it's safe to say that there aren't a lot of opportunities to go scooter drag racing in the USA. We arrived a little bit early and unloaded the scooters, and they announced that the track was open for test passes before the riders' meeting, so we headed to the staging booth. My first run was pretty bad. It was loaded up from idling and struggled to take off, resulting in a horrible 60-foot and went almost a full second slower than my average times testing at home with the Dragy. When we came back around for another pass, the track was shut down and riders were called for the pre-race meeting.
We're going to get this riders meeting started here in about 5 minutes up at the concession stand, so get up here if you're a rider.
Matt Carpenter, who along with his wife Tiffany organized and ran the small bore rally, came over to Ryan and I and told us that the two-stroke and Ruckus classes were small. So small, in fact, that we were the only two participants in the two-stroke class, and Ryan was the sole entry in the Honda Ruckus class. I had been tuning and modifying my scoot a bit before the event to improve times in hope of having a better chance of at least winning a race or two, and Ryan put his engine into a totally new frame, did some mods as well, and even installed a nitrous kit just in case competition was tough. So it was disappointing to have no one else to race, to say the least, but Matt was cool about it and gave our class entry fees back while still letting us race for a trophy. I ran a 10:30 to Ryan's 9:24, and he easily took home first place. Then, I guess they tossed me in the Ruckus class, so we went up one more time. That time, I did a 9:98 to Ryan's 9:22, so at least I got closer to my 9.8 second average at home, but Ryan had me covered with no problem. After that, other classes started running, and the track was open for anyone to race between rounds. So Ryan ran a few more times off and on, and I spent most of my time trying to film the racing. Ryan's air filter kept falling off and just didn't want to stay in place no matter what he tried for a while. After all of the class racing was finished, the track was open for small bore participants till 5 p.m., so Ryan and I raced each other multiple times. There was a guy with a show ruckus in the pits all day, and I intended to call him out for a race, just so I could line up with someone different, but I never saw him around once the track was open to everyone. At that point, I was pretty tempted to call out one of the track workers on the scooters that they get around on, but I didn't think that would get me anywhere anyway. This was my best run of the day, a 982 at 67.7 miles per hour, while Ryan had multiple runs in the 9.1 range at 71 to 72 miles per hour. Ryan never did try the nitrous because he already had one two-stroke sitting back at the motel with a hole in a piston, so the Met Ruck was the only bike that he had left to ride for the rest of the rally, and it just wasn't worth the risk. We went round and round for 5 races in a row before packing up at about 2:30 p.m. So for a $30 track entry fee, I made 8 passes and could have ran for another 2.5 hours till the track switched over till their next event if I wanted to. I did get to test my Dragy versus the track's timing system, and I was very impressed with how close they were. Matt and Tiffany posted a short survey after the small bore rally was over to get feedback from everyone, and props to them for trying to continually improve the event. So Ryan and I both requested a scooter open class for next year where any scooter could run to replace the two-stroke and ruckus classes. We'll see if it happens, and whenever they announce the details for 2024, I'll let you know if there is a scooter class, because I'd love to see more scoots come out, and I think all kinds of scoots could have fun with grudge racing if enough people show up. I'm going to wrap this one up here, but make sure you're subscribed to see the rest of my experience at the Smoky Mountain Small Bore Rally, and please give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.